My God! Nico!
What is it?
This telescope! It's free! Wait, what's that? That rock looks familiar. Nico, take a look at this and tell me what you see.
You're right. That rock looks like a head.
I've seen that shape before. Take a look at this. The face in the Ouroboros, it's exactly the same shape as that rock.
That can't be a coincidence.
And you know what? Langham's got the forged picture, the one without the face.
So the rock won't have meant anything to him.
Nico, I don't think the tabula's up at the monastery. I think it's down there somewhere, around that rock. The cable car hung midway across the valley. It wasn't moving. There were a couple of people stuck in the cable car. They looked kind of familiar. Then I realized it was my old friends Duane and Pearl Henderson. The Hendersons had an uncanny way of showing up wherever I went. I signaled back to Pearl. I couldn't make out if there was any response. Pearl seemed to be writing something on the window. It said, "Help, stuck. Door code 0797. The station door must have needed a code to open it. I wondered how Pearl came to know that. Come on, Nico. Pearl's giving me the code to the door.
What? Pearl? Who? How?
Trust me, Nico. I've got friends in low-hanging places. Huh. There's no one here.
Looks like everything has been shut down.
Help!
A metal lunchbox. Someone sure wanted to keep their cheese safe.
Hey, is anybody there?
Whoa. Did you hear that?
We're stuck in here. Help!
How about that, Nico? A talking lunchbox. Huh. What will they think of next? I better take it with me. There was no lock, but the door wouldn't open.
Go away!
Hello?
Georges? There's someone in there.
Are you all right in there?
Just go away.
Wait, please. We mean you no harm. Please, come out.
I'm staying right here until I know it's safe.
The box was now wedged in the cogs, or rather, the giant can opener. The console had a hatch, for repairs, I guessed. There was a large console in the corner. I guessed it operated the cable cars. The control panel looked complicated. It wasn't powered up, and the smell of burnt electrical components hung ominously in the air.
That's quite a mess you've made there, George.
You know what they say about making omelets, Nico?
You can't make them without strawberry jam?
Just as I thought, it's a two-way radio.
Can anyone hear me?
Duane, this is George. George Stobart.
Holy cow, George, just the fella I need. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Duane, and don't you worry. I'll have you out of there in a minute.
You reckon you can get the cable car running again?
No, the console isn't working properly. I've got no idea why not.
George, this is Pearl. Get Kat to help you. She knows everything about that place.
Kat? Is she the girl in the closet?
Has she locked herself in? Oh, dear. Let me talk to her, darling.
Kat? I found you a friendly voice.
How do you know my name?
Kat, dear, it's me, Pearl.
Pearl? How did you get here? That's not possible.
Listen, darling, it really is me. But I'm talking on the radio. George here is a very decent guy, and you should open the door.
I'm not going to fall for that. Prove it's you.
All right. Remember we discovered we both love musicals?
Yeah? And my favourite one is?
How does it go now? Help out. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral.
I know the kings of England and I quote the fights historical.
From Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very good in integral and differential calculus.
I know the scientific names of beings and homunculus.
In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral.
I am the very model of a modern major general.
All right, only Pearl would know that, and I trust her. Who are you?
I'm George, and this is Nico. How did you end up in a closet?
There were some guys with guns. They took over the whole station. I hid in here.
We're trying to avoid them too.
I was quite surprised, you know. They never mentioned guns at the job interview.
Really? We need to use the cable car. Can you operate it?
Yeah, if the console was working, but they sabotaged it.
And there's no way to get it started?
There might be. Let me see. See that burned out fuse down there?
In the back by the prongs?
Yeah. The idiots stuck a spanner in there and blew the fuse. They wanted to make sure no one could use the cable cars. Connect those two prongs somehow, and the console should restart.
How on earth are we going to reach that?
I don't know. But don't stick your arm in there. You'll get fried.
Well, I'd done stranger things in my life. The paperclip was now all sticky. Time for Trevor. I put his matchbox down. I stuck the paperclip onto Trevor's back. He was now fully equipped. Go, Trevor, go! Poor Trevor looked like he needed therapy, but the console was working. The console, it's working.
Cool. I can send you down there if you want. Let me just bring the cable car up here.
Pearl and Duane are going to be mighty relieved.
Oh, they must have been going down in the other cable car.
Come on, Nico. There's no time to lose. As we got closer to the face in the rock, I knew for sure that we were on the right track. It was definitely the same as the face in the painting, but with one difference. The symbol of the tabula was missing from the rock formation. Well, here we are.
But no way to reach the face. Let's have a look around. There must be a way up. George, the chapel looks like it's been built right into the rock.
You're right. We should take a look inside.
I wonder, how old do you think the chapel is?
I'm guessing the exterior's a couple of 100 years old, but the inside, who knows? Some parts could be much older.
You think somehow this chapel might be connected to the face in the rock?
At a guess, I would say so. Hey, look, it's Pearl and Duane.
Come on, honey bun. Things ain't that bad.
You just don't understand. Today's been a disaster.
But
The monastery was closed. We got stuck in the cable car. And now this place is a building site.
aw, sweetie pie.
This was supposed to be the spiritual highlight of our trip, Duane. But the only spirit I see is that rotten turpentine over there.
Aw, heck.
Clearly, the Hendersons weren't having a great vacation. Wood shavings. This was one building site that needed Mr. Tidy. They smelt exotic. My mother always said cleanliness is next to godliness. Potpourri, handmade, Grandma's favorite. It was an old crank handle. A statue of the Madonna and Child watched over the chapel. An empty, coffee-stained mug had been left by the altar. I sprayed Brett onto my experimental potpourri. One sniff would kill a man for sure. That wouldn't make any sense. Great to see you again, Mr. Henderson.
Great to see you too, George. Great work back there with the cable car.
Is Pearl okay?
I wish. I'm afraid we're having one of those days where everything goes wrong.
Tell me about it. What have you been up to since we last met in Claramonte?
Well, there was that little sideshow in Rome, but we can't talk about that. You know why, George.
I do? I do.
Why?
Top secret.
Need to know, Nico. Duane is, snoozer.
Don't you mean a sleeper?
No way, honey. A snoozer's at least 2 pay grades up from a sleeper. So I hear. Anyway, I don't believe I've had the pleasure, Miss,
Nicole Collar. Call me Nico.
Well, how's about that? So this is the beautiful Nico. No wonder you've been hiding her away from me, Georgie boy.
Gosh, no,
It's lovely to finally meet you too, Mr. Henderson. George has told me so much about you.
Oh, call me Duane, my dear. And let me assure you of one thing. Everything you've heard is quite possibly true.
Duane was loud, large, and short-sighted, but boy, was he a charmer. Is there anything we can do for Pearl?
I sure as hell hope so, George. She's been planning and researching this trip for years, our little pilgrimage. And Santa Cova Chapel here was the cherry on the cake. Not a thing she don't know about this place. Madonna, blah, blah, blah. Chapel built in, yada, yada, yada. She's Santa Cova's very own walking encyclopedia. Well, weeping encyclopedia, I should say.
So what brings you to Santa Cova?
Pearl's idea from the get-go. Ever since the unfortunate car accident back home, she's been scouring those pilgrimage brochures. Gotta be full of wonder and life-changing imagery. Got to have penance potential. Got to offer a real spiritual experience.
Well, I'm sure this place will be very spiritual once it's finished.
If the chapel is not what she expected, how about the monastery?
Hot dog, no. That place is for tourists, not pilgrims.
You said she expected a spiritual experience?
No, that's what the brochure promised. Pilgrimages, little monk fellas, singing, shafts of light, the whole shebang.
Smells, bells, and heavenly lights.
Yeah, that's what the lady wanted. Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me. There, dear.
Pearl could be a mine of information about the chapel if we could just cheer her up. Hi, Duane.
Hey, George.
Hey, that tune you were whistling earlier, it sounded familiar.
Oh, it's Schubert's Ave Maria. In our courting days, me and Pearl used to hang out with the Campanology Society. It was Pearl's favorite. Oh, excuse me. Pearl needs me. There, dear.
I poured the turpentine into the paint can. The scaffolding was a little loose. Everything rattled. It made a surprisingly dulcet noise. That was never going to happen. I rested the side mirror precariously on the candelabra. I secured the mirror in place with some yarn. I lit the candles on the candelabra. I put the supercharged potpourri in the mug. Now that was something. The light from the candelabra spilled over the Black Madonna like waves of spiritual goodness in candle form. The hammer produced a promising sound. F sharp.
What are you up to?
Look, I made a Churchenspiel. G. B, if I wasn't mistaken. A. G. I had it. It was the tune Duane was humming.
Georges, that's Ave Maria. Let me have a go.
Wow, you really nailed that, Nico.
Yep, this mop really is pretty special. Leave this to me.
Candles could be heavenly. But Pearl had already claimed this little oasis of spirituality as her own. I needed something more striking to get her attention. I lit the scented shavings. A sweet aroma started to fill the room.
Pumpkin? Oh my!
What?
The sound of angels, the lights of heaven, the smell of piety, and
Yes?
the Madonna, I do believe. Tears. She's crying, Duane! The Madonna's crying. Little Timmy. Wrong side of the road. Not my fault. The broken leg. Compensation claim. Forgive me, poor Timmy.
Oh, Pearl, my precious, you're such a sensitive soul.
Well, now that's done. I feel my soul's floating on air. We can get on with our pilgrimage, Duane.
Just another 1,000 clicks to go.
Pearl was back to her usual cheery self. Mrs. Henderson,
George, dear boy.
how you feeling?
Oh, just fine, thank you. I have just seen a miracle, George. It's all gonna be all right from now.
I'm sure it is, Mrs. Henderson. I'm sure it is. So, Pearl, what have you been up to since we last met?
Well, George, I've been on a journey.
Oh, really? Well, what kind of journey?
A spiritual one. A journey along the road to enlightenment.
Wow. And is that what brought you here?
It is. Though Santa Cova is but one step on that road.
What's so special about Santa Cova?
It's an ancient and very holy place. I've spent the last year researching it, and I can truly say there is nothing I do not know about it.
I don't suppose you'd know anything about that rock out there?
No, only that for 1,000 years, people have claimed to see a face in its shapes.
Still, keeping busy, Duane?
Like the man said, George, that old kaleidoscope keeps getting shaken, and the pieces are ever in flux.
Guess it's your job to pick 'em up, huh?
Well, somebody has to do it, compadre.
I enjoyed talking to Duane, but I was rarely any the wiser afterwards. What can you tell me about the statue?
I read that the Black Madonna has been here since the 9th century. She's called the Virgin of Montserrat. Some say the original was moved to the cathedral. But Duane and I know that's just a bluff, don't we, honey?
We sure do. This one is the real McCoy.
What can you tell me about Santa Cova?
Well, dear, they call it the Chapel of the Holy Grotto. It was built directly into the mountain itself in 1696. It survived the Napoleonic Wars, mudslides, Civil War. But the chapel is still standing today. It's a miracle.
Or a restoration.
What was that, dear?
Yes, a miracle. What do you make of this?
It looks like an Ouroboros.
Oh, you recognize it? Let me show you something else. Can you tell me anything about this painting?
Oh, nothing, dear. Apart from the obvious Gnostic connotations, of course.
What?
You know, the Dominicans. All those Gnostic saints. Doubting Thomas, Judas. And you see the woman in the red cloak? The infamous Mary Magdalene herself.
A lady in red.
That's enough now, Duane. You know my feelings about her.
Pearl knew her Gnostic onions, all right.
Then there's the Ouroboros, of course.
Something special about it?
Well, if I remember rightly, there was an Ouroboros right here in this chapel. Back in the 30s and 40s, the chapel was renovated. The workmen uncovered numerous symbols carved in the rock. Amongst them was a fine Ouroboros.
But that's amazing. So, where is it?
Oh, it's not there now.
Oh.
It was considered blasphemous, so they plastered over it. Sweetheart, I think it's time for us to go. The road to enlightenment waits for no woman.
'Tis the pilgrim's lot, George.
It was so nice to see you again. And meet your girlfriend.
We're not...
Take this radio, Nico. Never know when you might need it. Keep an eye on our boy George here.
Poor little lost lamb.
I'm not...
Don't worry, this little lamb's in safe hands. Bon voyage.
Bye-bye, dears.
See ya.
Nico, don't even start.
Little lamb?
Let's focus on the task in hand, shall we? Okay, this Ouroboros that Pearl mentioned.
You're right. We need to find it.
I thought I'd heard a faint click. I hoped this was the right thing to do. Hey, Nico, I found the Ouroboros.
So what now?
Pearl was right. The plaster had covered an Ouroboros.